Kevin Herter to get it in. Everyone standing at State Farm Arena. Herter looks, plays it into Trey. 2 seconds, one. Trey's floater. Good! With .1, and the Hawks are going to win this game.
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
You are now listening to the Hawksbeat podcast with your host, E-Dub. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to another edition of the Hawksbeat podcast, season 7, episode 3. Hawks and Grizzlies do battle, and the Hawks come away victorious. Yes, your Atlanta Hawks are 2-0. Now, granted, there was 2-0 last year, but we ain't going to talk about last year. Hawks take down the Grizz 122-112. We're going to recap the game as well as get into all the details of the game. But it was a very good game, man, a very competitive game. Despite not having Chris Dunn, Okongwu, Capella, and Gallo, they get the job done, man. They get the job done and walk out of Memphis with a W. Real quick, man, before we get into the game, just wanted to take a look at the week that is coming for the Hawks. On Monday, they will be playing the Detroit Pistons. Wednesday, they have a game in Brooklyn. And then Friday, they have another game in Brooklyn. So that's kind of how the schedule is kind of shaping out this year. You'll see teams, well, they'll play the Hawks maybe on like a Monday and a Wednesday or a Friday and a Sunday. And they won't go nowhere. They won't travel nowhere. So that's kind of what the 2021 season is going to look like. So a large part of what we do is on the social media front. So we would love for you guys to connect with us on all of our social media platforms. Twitter and Instagram, the handle is at Hawksbeat. So make sure you give us a follow. We're also on Facebook, and we're putting more and more content on our YouTube page. We're even throwing some of our podcasts on our YouTube page. So if you're on YouTube all the time, go ahead and give us a click, give us a like, tell us what you like about the podcast, and we would greatly appreciate it. So I think that's it as far as the housekeeping is concerned. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. I mean, what is you doing? But yeah, on the other side, we're going to get into our three main segments that we do. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to hand out the Fab Five and our player of the game. So real quick, we're going to take just a quick break to hear 90 seconds from one of our partners. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy E-Dub for the Hawksbeat podcast. When I was trying to get my podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all those apps that people listen to? Most importantly, how do I make money from my podcast? The answer to all of these questions is simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-step shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. Now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing by reading this ad. Look, guys, I have over 10 years of podcast experience, and Anchor is by far the easiest platform I've ever used. So, if you want to get started using Anchor and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me in the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hawksbeat Podcast, Season 7, Episode 3. Hawks take care of the Grizz 122-112. Before we get into some of the numbers, I want to play just one clip from Lloyd. I didn't get a chance to get a lot of sound from him tonight, but I did want to play a clip where he's talking about the night that Kevin Huerter had.
Lloyd, what did you see out of Kevin Huerter tonight?
We needed everything out of Kevin tonight. I thought we started the game hunting for three-point shots. The game plan was to really make these guys work. And, we just from the start, a lot of pull-up jumpers and a lot of contested threes and no movement. And I thought when Kevin came in, he obviously came in and got hot, but just his activity, he make those momentum killers. He just makes the shot to kill the momentum. I think they ended up calling a timeout up 7-6, which, we should have been up. We took some settled shots. But he was tremendous. His offense tonight was really what got us going and settled the game. And I thought his decision making, that pass he made to John late in the fourth quarter, kind of a give and go. Just a great Kevin Huerter play. Okay.
I think that Lloyd was either like sucking on a peppermint or something, but it's always good to hear from Coach. Before Coach had his availability, Coach said something to the effect of, "Look, man, if y'all don't have no questions for Nathan Knight, I don't know what to tell you." Nathan Knight, we're going to talk about him a little bit as well. The rookie had a great night tonight in the time frame that he was on the court. But just, again, Hawks take care of business 122-112. Another great night from Trey. And I don't want to just go all Trey because there were so many factors in the Hawks winning this game. And one of those, you could actually say possibly maybe the main factor was that the play of Kevin Huerter. 27 points. I mean, not 27, 27 minutes. 21 points, 8 of 12 shooting. Made his first 7 shots. And again, for the second game in a row, and again, small sample size, but it is what it is. Really stabilizing that second unit, man, because the starters came out just a tad flat. JC gets in foul trouble. DeAndre picks up a quick 2, and now you're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And I thought Huerter really took control in that second unit. So shout out to Kevin Huerter, man. Good game tonight. And Nathan Knight, man, the two-way guy, played 9 minutes, but he scored 14 points, man. 4 or 5 shooting, 2 for 3 from downtown. We were calling it the Nathan Knight game. The rookie out of William & Mary, 6'10", 253. And let me tell you something, guys. Listen. If you may have something in Nathan Knight, right? So he may not be like what you expected. What if he is better than what you expected? Like that would be a huge that would be a huge problem to have. Not even necessarily a problem, but what if he is better than what you expected? So 14 points on a night where you had no Gallinari, you had no Capella. JC was in foul trouble. Hunter got in the early foul trouble, so you had to put him out there. And Bruno did what he did. But man, shout out to Nathan Knight and Kevin Huerter, which to me was really the difference in the game. I also thought, well, let's do this. Let's talk about just some of the headlines in the game. They come out early. And one thing again that I keep talking about is how this team plays without Trae Young. In the first quarter, it was evident. It was evident once again. At the end of the quarter, they go on a 12-0 run with Trae on the bench. And again, that is so refreshing to see because last year, we all remember, Trae goes to the bench and they're going to start sinking like a Titanic. Second quarter comes in, Nathan Knight, Kevin Huerter, those guys really get going. Nathan Knight hits those two big buckets, gets 8 points. Kevin Huerter does his thing, and the bench had scored 30 points of the Hawks' 58 points at the half. So the bench mob was really doing their thing, I have to give some credit to Lloyd, man, because second half he changed up the lineup a little bit. Went to Bruno over Bogey. Bogey had another tough shooting night, and I thought the Bruno thing's always kind of tricky, right? Like the Bruno thing's always kind of tricky because he's not. You just want Bruno to be a high energy guy, and that's what he gave you. He gave you 10 rebounds tonight, so And sometimes Bruno can be all over the place, but for what it was worth, you needed the body out there. You wanted to kind of settle Bogey down, so you maybe let him run with the two. So I was cool with it, and I think that it really helped out. What also helped is Trae Young going crazy in that third quarter. And I don't remember his third quarter stats per se, but he finished the game with 36 points, 9 assists, because you could have easily had between 11 and 12 assists. John Collins misses a couple bunnies from him. But, again, 36 points, 9 assists, just a very explosive game. He was a plus 12, only had one turnover, and Trae was just Trae. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what we are expecting from him. But Hawks have a strong third quarter. It was kind of back and forth. In the fourth quarter, you had Trae still doing what he did. Hawks begin that quarter with eight straight points, and so kind of back and forth. Hawks pull away kind of towards the end. They closed the game out, and it was just a good sign to see this team finally closing out a game. So salute to the Hawks. They're undefeated for what it's worth, 122 to 112. So we're going to take another just quick break to hear from one of our partners. On the other side, we are going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, the player of the game, and our Fab Five. We'll be right back. This segment is brought to us by Tillman's Trinkets and Things. Custom jewelry shipped quickly to your doorstep. Every piece will be uniquely yours. You can get the Tillman's Trinkets and Things from our website, thehawksbeat.com. Just click on their banner, Tillman's Trinkets and Things. Shout out to our guy Jonathan. He's done great work. He's made pieces for my daughter, for my son, for myself. Check out the folks over at Tillman's Trinkets and Things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You're listening to the Hawksbeat podcast, season 7, episode 3. Hawks take care of the Grizz. And let's get into this good and the bad and the ugly first, man. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Good, bad, and the ugly. So for tonight's game, my good is Nathan Knight, man. Again, a lot can be said about his contribution for tonight, but I thought that because that is something that you're probably not going to see on an every night basis, to me, that was the good, man. That was the good. The guy came in 9 minutes. He was poised. He played with energy. And he gave them some much-needed firepower, man. Shot the ball well, 4 from 5. I didn't even know he had a 3-ball on him. Evidently, he does. 14 points, 3 boards. Salute to Nathan Knight. William and Mary's own Nathan Knight. So, for tonight, he is my good. So, salute to you, Mr. Knight. You are the good of the night. The bad to me was the injuries. I'm not concerned yet, but I didn't like that Capella didn't start again. I didn't like that Gallo was out, even though Gallo doesn't really have like a serious injury. I know that Gallo's not going to play a whole bunch of games, even if it's just a case where you just give him rest. He's an older guy. He's dealt with injuries, so I don't know. If this is what it takes for him to be fresh on Monday, let's do it. I'm still waiting to see from the Okongwu kid, still waiting to see from the Dunn kid, but I don't like the injuries, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't like them. It's not ugly. I'm not panicking. I'm not gonna jump off the ledge, but I just don't like it. So to me, that was the bad. And the ugly. I'm gonna tell you what, man. This is a little bit of this is somewhat petty for me. But, hey, it's my podcast and I can kind of do what I want, right? So the ugly for me is Kyle Anderson. I'm going to tell you something, man. This is something about that kid's game that I just do not like. The kid can play ball. He can play ball. 20 points tonight, 14 boards, but I just do not like his game. I don't like the way he shoots. I don't like the way he moves. Everything about him bothers me, man. So to me, that was the ugly tonight, man. Kyle Anderson was the ugly tonight for me. And I know you may call me petty. Go ahead and send them tweets to @Hawksbeat, and I'll deal with it accordingly. I will deal with it accordingly. So that was the good, the bad, and the ugly. Next up, we do the Fab Five. Now, the Fab Five is something new that we're doing this season. It's where I just give you the best 5 Hawks, man. I gave you the best 5 Hawks, how I saw it in the game. And let's go ahead and kick things off. Of course, Trae Young is going to get the nod tonight. Trae, 36, 37. 36 points tonight, 9 assists. Trae, well, once he got going in the second quarter, they just... My gosh, man, like he's really good at the game of basketball. So Trae gets in at the Fab Five. Kevin, definitely, we talked about Kevin a little bit earlier. Kevin gets in for our Fab Five, made his first 7 shots, stabilized that second unit once again. And, man, his stroke, man, when he has it going and when he is confident, he is a really good basketball player. I mean, and the thing about Kev, he's not just a shooter, man. Coach Pierce talked a little bit about a pass that he gave John Collins in the fourth quarter. He can handle the ball. He can distribute. Like, you know, don't put him in the low. Don't put him in that just, oh, he's just a shooter. Nah, man, he is a basketball player. So, Trae, Kevin, again, man, I'm gonna put Nathan Knight on this list tonight, man. I thought he was one of the 5 best players. Nathan Knight, even though he only played 9 minutes, he was highly effective. So, salute to you, Nathan. You're going to make the list. The last 2, I got a spot for DeAndre Hunter, that is. I thought DeAndre Hunter wasn't spectacular offensively, but I thought he was probably the best defender all night for the Hawks. I thought that he was probably the best defender all night. He does so much on the defensive side of the ball that you're just not going to see on the stat sheet. And kudos to DeAndre, man. I thought he played a whale of a defensive game tonight. Also for DeAndre, hit a huge 3 in the fourth quarter. I forget how much time was left. I'm thinking maybe under 2 minutes. Hawks are clinging to a small lead. He hits a 3-pointer kind of in the on the edge as the clock is running down. And it was just, I mean, you could see the smile on his face, the confidence on this kid. And, man, I'm really glad DeAndre Hunter is an Atlanta Hawk. So that's 4 of the 5. And the last person I have on our list is John Collins. John Collins, he picked up 2 fouls early. And I was like, oh, man, here we go. But he got back in there. He played a good, strong 6.5 minutes to end. I think it was to end the third. Without picking up that third foul, and I thought that he played really well. Missed a couple of bunnies, but I mean it's all good. You know, no one has a perfect game, but I thought John was really strong for the Hawks tonight. I thought he rebounded pretty well. I think he finished with about 10 rebounds, but I thought he did a great job on Valanciunas. The thing about this is, and I tweeted this, I think that they did a good job of Valanciunas as a team. Like as a team, because I saw everybody on him. I saw Cam on him. I saw DeAndre on him. Like everybody was on Valanciunas, and he didn't have his best night tonight. And I think that's a credit to not just John, but I think that's good team defense. I think they played him really well as a team. So that is my Fab Five for tonight, guys. Like that is the 5 who I like the best, who I think played the best. Let me recap that again. That's John Collins, Kevin Huerter, Nathan Knight, John. Did I say John Collins? I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'm sorry. I got ADD. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, Nathan Knight, John Collins, and DeAndre Hunter, of course. That's my Fab Five, and salute to those gentlemen. Last but not least, definitely got to hand out the player of the game. Now. It would be easy for me to say, oh, Trae Young. But, like, we can go Trae Young every single night. We're not finna do that. Trae, yeah, he got 36 and 9. That's kind of what Trae does. But there are times where you have to pick out something that you didn't necessarily expect. And I'm not going to give it to Nathan Knight because I want to see some more for the young man, right? I want to see some more for the young man. But Nathan Knight definitely gets honorable mention. But I am giving the player of the game tonight to one Mr. Kevin Huerter. Tonight. He was special tonight. And just like Coach says, we needed everything we got from Kevin. Without Here's the thing: if Trey plays the way he plays, you may or may not win the game. But if you don't get what you get from Kevin tonight, you definitely don't win that game. You definitely don't win that game. 36-9 from Trey, you probably gonna get that. Like that may be. Man, salute to the guy playing hard, playing strong, and he just seems really comfortable and more confident. So hopefully he stays healthy all season long. So I think that is about to get. I think that. Let me see if there's anything that I left out. As far as the guys playing, Cam didn't really have the best night tonight. Bogey kind of struggled again. Solomon kind of gave you those bulldog moments, those bulldog minutes. I tweeted out, I said Solomon Hill is kind of like the uncle everybody has, who's just like, he goes out and he goes on the court. He's like, yo, man, I got like 5 fouls to get. What's up? Shout out to Solomon Hill on the flagrant that he gave to your boy. Oh man, the guy from Duke, man, he gets him Grayson Allen. But yeah, good team win for the Hawks, man. 122-112. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. We will be back. We may do a pregame show on Monday, may not, but we'll see. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, please. We're trying to get our numbers up. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, the podcast as well, and follow us on all of our social media. So for the Hawksbeat, I am your host, E-Dub, and like we always say, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. So if you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love, because that is all he is showing you. L-O-V-E love. We out. Peace.
Freebeats.io